Hello students, today we will see that how can we find the maximum or minimum value of a given function when the interval given to us is a closed interval. It's a very simple procedure. All you have to do is first find f dash x for the given function f of x. Then equate your f dash x equal to 0 to get all the possible critical points x1, x2 and so on. And step number 3 is put all these critical points plus the extreme values of your interval, which in this case is a and b. Put all these values, critical point plus extreme values of interval, in your main function f of x. And all you have to do is just check that where you are getting the maximum value and minimum value. Now let us try to understand this concept with the help of questions. So my first question here is find the maximum or minimum value of x plus sine 2x in the given interval, closed interval 0 to 2 pi. Right? Now first thing that we have to remember is that this range, this interval is given to us for the values of x. Okay. So indirectly we are saying that x can take value starting from 0 till 2 pi. Right? So let us start with the procedure to find the maximum or minimum value. What we do, the first step is to find the f dash x, which in this case will be 1 plus 2 cos 2x. Right? What about f dash x equal to 0? We are going to equate this whole expression with 0. Right? So if you are going to solve it, I will get cos 2x is equal to minus 1 by 2. Once you have got cos 2x is equal to minus 1 by 2, I have to find all the possible angles where this equation will satisfy. And how I can do that? For this, first of all, I should know what is the range for 2x when x will belongs to 0 to 2 pi. So simply multiply this whole inequality with 2. The range for 2x I am getting is 0 to 4 pi. So for this particular equation, I will consider all those angles which lie between 0 to 4 pi. Let us see how we can do that. First step will be keep this minus sign on side and cos take half value at 60 degree, which means cos of pi by 3. Right? Now I have to see the quadrant. Since the sine along with cos is negative, so I will look for those quadrant where cos takes the negative value. So there are two quadrant, second and third. What is the combination here? Here you take pi minus theta and pi plus theta as your combination. Okay. If I apply this combination for this value, then for sure there will be two values which I will consider. Theta here for me is going to be pi by 3. So this will become pi minus pi by 3, which will be 2 pi by 3. And next will be pi plus pi by 3, which is going to be 4 pi by 3. So these two angles are there for sure. Till now I have taken the quadrants which are covering angle till 2 pi only. But I can take till 4 pi. So that means again I will, after covering this whole circle, whole rotation, I will again come back to this first quadrant and again I can go here. So now my combination is going to be what? This 2 pi angle I have already covered, and if I cover again 180 degree, so this will be my 3 pi, and if I come back then this will be 4 pi. So here along with pi I can write 3 pi. So the next combination of angle which I can take is, instead of pi I can write 3 pi here. So this will be 3 pi minus pi by 3, because still we are within 4 pi, and another option can be 3 pi plus pi by 3. So if you are going to simplify this, the angles I am getting now is, this is going to be 8 pi by 3 and this is 10 pi by 3. Now if I find the values of x, I'll get pi by 3, 2 pi by 3, 4 pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3. So these are the 4 critical points I am getting for this particular equation. Okay. Now what was the step that we follow after finding the critical point? We will substitute all these critical points in our main function f of x. Right? So replace x one by one with these values. So you will have f of pi by 3, f of 2 pi by 3, f of 4 pi by 3 and f of 5 pi by 3 along with the extreme point of your interval. What are the extreme points of your interval? 0 and 2 pi. So we will find f of 0 as well as f of 2 pi. Now just substitute all these angles one by one in this equation, x plus sine 2x, and try to find the values. So these are the values that we are getting. Right? Now once you will put pi as your 22 by 7 and you will calculate, you can see that out of all these values, the minimum value we are getting at 0 and the maximum value we are getting at 2 pi. So that will become our answer for this question. So let us do another question, which is you have to find the absolute maxima or minimum value of the following function, the given function, which is f of x is equal to sin x plus cos x, and the interval is again a closed interval. Your x belongs to 0 to pi closed interval. Okay, so let us see how we are going to find this. What was the first step? We will take the derivative of the given function. So f dash x is equal to, take the derivative, cos x minus sin x. Step number 2, put it equal to 0 to get all the critical points, which in this case I am getting as cos x minus sin x is equal to 0, means tan x is equal to 1. You can take cos x to the other side, right hand side, and if you will simplify, this will come out to be tan x is equal to 1, which means x is equal to pi by 4. Now why I have taken only pi by 4? Because the values of x can vary from 0 till pi by 4 only. Okay, so only one angle is possible within this interval which will satisfy our equation, that is pi by 4. Had it been some more possible angles which will give me or which will satisfy my equation, then I will take care of all those. Like in the previous question, we were getting 4 critical points. But here, because of the interval only, we are getting this pi by 4. So how do we find the absolute maximum or minimum value? We put the values of critical point as well as the extreme points of the interval, which in this case will be 0 and pi. So we will put all these 3 values in our given function f of x. Okay. So what we are getting, f of pi by 2 will become sine of, replace x with pi by 4 plus cos of pi by 4, which will give you the value as, after solving, root 2. F of 0 will be sine 0 plus cos 0, which is 1, and f of pi is going to be sine pi plus cos of pi, which will be equal to your minus 1. And hence we can say that the maximum value out of all these is root 2, and the point of maxima will be what? Pi by 4. Similarly, minimum value is minus 1 and point of minima is going to be pi. So there is one more observation you can see here, that it is not necessary that you will always get the maximum value or minimum value only in the extremes of the interval. It is not necessary. Means extreme means it is not necessary that you will get the maximum or minimum value in 0 and pi only. It could be the critical point also, depending on question to question. Okay. Let us take another question. The question is, at what point in the interval, closed interval 0 to 2 pi, does the function f of x is equal to sine 2x attain its maximum value? So again the procedure will remain same. We basically want to find the value of x where the function will be maximum, and this value has to be within this interval, right? So let us start with the procedure of finding maximum value when closed interval is given to us. We will first take the function f of x is equal to sine 2x, differentiate it. You are getting 2 cos 2x. Put your derivative equal to 0. So 2 cos 2x is equal to 0. Cos 2x is equal to 0. Now I have to see that within my given interval, how many possible angles will satisfy this equation. Again, the main thing here is this interval is for x. Your x belongs to 0 to 2 pi. Now let us try to see what about 2x. That means this is what we are having. We will multiply the both whole equation inequality basically with 2 to get this. So our 2x belongs to the interval 0 to 4 pi. That means I will take all possible angles within 0 to 4 pi which satisfy my equation cos 2x is equal to 0. Now we already know this thing, we did it in class 11th also, that cos x is equal to 0 means all the odd multiples of pi by 2. These angles are going to give you value as 0. So I can take pi by 2, the other odd multiple will be 3 pi by 2, and same way I can take 5 pi by 2 and 7 pi by 2, and you can clearly see, you can put pi as 180 and can clearly see that all of them belongs to your this range. They are within 0 to 4 pi. Okay. So now you have 4 critical points. And what are the extremes? Extremes for x. These are the values of these were the values for 2x, and by dividing we can find the values for x. So what are the extremes for x? 0 as well as 2 pi. So there are 6 values with us which we are going to put in our main function sine 2x. That is pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 7 pi by 4 and 0 as well as 2 pi. So just substitute all of them in your function sine 2x and just find the values. Okay. Now clearly here you can see that at 2 points we are getting the same maximum value. So both of these points will become our point of maxima. Means pi by 4 as well as 5 pi by 4. And the maximum value will be 1. Suppose we want to find the minimum value. Again you can see at 2 different points we are getting the value -1. So these 2 points will become our point of minima. That is 3 pi by 4 and 7 pi by 4, and the minimum value will be -1. Now using the same concept, let us try to find some unknown. Question is, at x is equal to a, the function f of x attain its maximum. Means it is already given to us that the point of maxima for this function is 1. In the interval 0 to 2, closed interval, you have to find the value of a. So we are going to follow almost the same procedure. Let us see. Now f of x is given to us as this. That means f dash x is 4x to the power 3 minus 2 into 62x plus a. This is the derivative of f of x. Now since x is equal to 1 is the point of maxima, that means x is equal to 1 is basically your critical point. If it is critical point, it means that at this value, at x is equal to 1, f dash will be equal to 0. This is the way we attain our critical points. Whenever your f dash x is equal to 0, whatever values of x you get, they become your critical point. So it is already given to you that function is attaining maximum at x is equal to 1. This means f dash 1 is equal to 0. This concept we have used here. Just replace x with 1 everywhere and you can get the value of a. Now let us take another question. What is the maximum value of function f of x is equal to sin x plus cos x? As you can see here, there is no closed interval given to us. So how we are going to do these kind of questions? We will just try to find the range of this function, that what could be the possible maximum or minimum values. Let us see how we can do that. This is very familiar expression for us, sin x plus cos x. Whenever you get this, always, and you have to derive something from this, then always try to reduce it into one single term by applying multiplication and division of root 2. So what I have done in this question, multiply and divide the whole expression with root 2. Now 1 by root 2 can be written as sin 45 or cos 45. So I am trying to convert it into my formula of sine of a plus b. For that, what do you need? In the first term, you need both the opposite ratios, trig ratios, that is sine as well as cos combination. So for that reason only, I am going to write my 1 upon root 2 as cos of 45 degree, which is cos of pi by 4 sin x, and this 1 by root 2 I am going to write as sine of pi by 4 and cos x. What is the advantage of this? This whole expression will reduce to one single term because this has become now the formula of sine of a plus b. So I can write it as sine of x plus pi by 4. Right? Now let us try to see what could be the possible range for this function. We already know that sin x lies between minus 1 and 1. It can take the value starting from minus 1 to 1. Okay. Now what my capital X denote here? X plus pi by 4. Right? So I will replace capital X with x plus pi by 4. Now what is my function? Function is root 2 into sine of x plus pi by 4. So I will simply multiply this whole inequality with root 2. Now here what we are trying to do, basically we are trying to write sin x as our f of x. So whatever extra terms are required in multiplication, we have multiplied, and this whole thing is nothing but f of x. So what we have got, just by simply taking the range for sin of x, we have got that my f of x will lie between minus root 2 to root 2, including these two extreme values. So f of x can start from minus root 2 to root 2, right? So we can say that minus root 2 is the minimum value and root 2 is the maximum value for this particular function. So what we have seen so far is that at times, just by the observation also, we can tell what is going to be the maximum or minimum value of the function. Or if it is a closed interval, we don't need to apply the tests. We can straight away, by using our critical points as well as our just by simply taking the critical points and the extreme values, we can find the maximum or minimum value if the function is having closed interval, right? Now let us take a few functions where we are not able to find maxima or minima. The first function is f of x is equal to ex. If you look at the graph of this function, this is going to be something like this. So here we can see that we are not able to define the maximum value or the minimum value, because it will keep on moving. And since we are not restricting our x and we are taking x as any real number, so that means I will not be able to fix the extremes. Okay. And if I'm not able to fix the extremes, so I will not be able to find the f of x respective f of x, right? So graphically we can see this function like this and can verify that we will not going to get any maxima or minima. And if you want to look at the mathematical solution for this, so you can find f dash x, which is coming out to be e to the power x. Now in any case, for all real values of x, f dash x is never going to be equal to 0. And if it is not equal to 0, that means f does not have any point of maxima or minima, because this is the condition we are using to find the maxima or minima, right? Same way for log, if you look at the graph of log, so in the graph of log also you can see that we are not able to decide the extreme maxima or minima. And here also mathematically we can see that f dash x is equal to 1 upon x. But we also know that domain of for log x is what? X has to be a positive real number, right? And if it is a strictly positive real number, then in no case this derivative is going to be equal to 0, right? So we can say that f does not have any point of maxima or minima.